Well, the great MAGA tent is finally splitting apart, and Donald Trump is watching his movement completely collapse. It's humiliating. It's embarrassing. But the cable news ghouls, they're sweating through their pancake batter makeup, just screaming about the Republican Civil War, right? Folks, it's a grift. Don't fall for that. There's no civil war. What you're witnessing right now in Washington is a highly coordinated tactical evacuation by swamp creatures who grew incredibly fat off of a populist grift and have now just realized that Donald Trump's yacht is sinking. They're grabbing the silverware. They're putting on women's coats and they're sprinting for the lifeboats, right? They're those guys on the Titanic. But they're going to look you dead in the eye and say that they're fighting for the soul of the nation. But what they're actually doing is just calling their real estate brokers in Naples to see if their gated community has the wall high enough to keep out the riffraff. I keep out the people whose lives they just ruined. This episode is exactly why we do these audits. So make sure you like and subscribe, right? To understand the panic here, you have to understand the grift. In 2026, Trump supporters thought that the red hat was a brick thrown through the window of the establishment, but it's been 10 years. It's 2026. That outsider image is dead, and what's left is a bloated geriatric billionaire on a gold-plated jet who thinks a soybean is an appetizer you order at Nobu. Right? He has weaponized the United States government so his family could treat the Oval Office like a personal ATM, while most Americans can't even afford ground beef anymore. You can't sell a populist dream to a guy whose tractor is running on 535 diesel because the administration thought that escalating a catastrophic trade war and bombing Iran would just sound good on the evening Fox News cycle. Right? They cut off the global nitrogen supply. Fertilizer price doubled overnight, and then China just laughed and permanently moved its multi-billion-dollar supply chain to Brazil. We didn't isolate Beijing. We isolated the guy in Ohio, the guy in Kentucky, trying to keep his family farm from being repossessed by a bank. The sun was killing me there. Listen, you don't need a Harvard degree to know that you've been sold out when your livelihood is treated like gambling chips by hedge fund psychopaths who couldn't tell a tractor from a golf cart. Right? The town halls are getting ugly because the base is finally waking up for the fever dream that they've been in for 10 years. They're realizing they aren't patriots to these people. Right? They're just an asset class waiting to be extracted, that they've been extracted. They're waiting to be liquidated. This brings us to the current hostage situation in Congress right now, because this administration is demanding two things. The Save America Act, which is a massive 50-state election overhaul, which is ridiculous. And the Reconciliation 3.0, a $350 billion supplemental. Now, let's call Reconciliation 3.0 exactly what it is. It's a $350 billion wet kiss to Lockheed Martin and the defense lobby, written on the back of a foreclosed family farm. It's a grift. It's a heist. It's Ocean's 11, but everyone's incredibly ugly. Their suits look like shit and they work in Congress. As a veteran, there's nothing that makes me sicker than watching Washington, D.C. use the military as a slush fund so they can actually afford a better table at a steakhouse. You know, all at the same time while the American family bleed out in the dirt. And this is where the drama comes in, because the GOP establishment, right, they're using these terrible bills as their excuse to jump ship. Right, they're using the rule book as a human shield. When you hear Senator Tom Tillis flatly declare that the SAVE Act is dead, or when Senator John Thune privately tells the administration they don't have the votes, right? They aren't having a moral awakening, please. Right? In D.C., you never break with a populist leader over ideology. That's how you lose a primary. Right? You break over the logistics. They're acting like the bird rule is a law of physics. It's not. It's a convenient out-of-order sign they've hung on the door so they can go have a martini while the small rural town goes bankrupt. They're using the sheer administrative impossibility of overhauling 50 state election systems in 4 months as a bloodless off-ramp. Right? Keeping their hands completely clean while their home districts just turn into dust. But the question we should be asking ourselves, if we actually had decent reporters out there, why are they suddenly so desperate to find this off-ramp? Oh, because they plan to strip mine local wealth after the election and it's already locked in. And the voters are finally waking up to the scam. When I was a loan officer, I sold tons of portfolios, and I know exactly what it looks like when a client is being deliberately bled dry. All you have to do is look at the ledger. This is how the reverse funnel works. Federal policies squeeze the independent operator to the brink of death. The system passes a massive corporate-heavy $12 billion bailout that lands directly in the banks of the agricultural monopolies. And then those monopolies buy up the local land for pennies on the dollar. Right? It's a closed loop system of theft, and the Democrats know it. And that's why you have the dirt road financial blitz. Right? The political opposition right now, the Democrats, they're pumping 8 figures of hard cash into hyper-local races, county commissioners, soil boards, state house seats. Right? They aren't talking about national culture wars. They're talking about corporate consolidation, local infrastructure, crushing property taxes. Like we said before, they finally figured out that if you walk into a local diner and talk to a guy whose farm's been foreclosed on about fixing his John Deere instead of whatever culture war garbage is trending on Truth Social, he might actually listen. Right? Hyper-local pressure is causing absolute terror in Washington, D.C. and the Republican caucus. And when the internal polling shows that your most reliable, ironclad base suddenly is persuadable, right, the rats start sprinting. The swamp creatures, they don't have morals. They have stock portfolios. Trump's lashing out. He's canceling bipartisan housing bills out of pure spite. He's threatening to primary his own allies. And all this because he knows his leverage is gone. Right? He has no respect in the world anymore. He's isolated the United States. He's wrecked the economy for the normal average American who doesn't have a membership at Mar-a-Lago. Right? He's the guy screaming in an empty room while the freaks who held his coat for a decade are quietly walking out the back door. And that room that he's screaming into should be a prison cell. We have to remember that the system is always going to protect itself at the end of the day. And that's why there's absolute panic right now over a missing Mitch McConnell. And the man's been secretly hospitalized for 3 weeks. The EMTs did chest compressions on him in his living room, and his staffers are issuing fake press releases talking about how he's eager to get back to work. The man was literally dead if they're doing chest compressions. Right? They don't care if he's conscious. They just need to prop him up weekend at Bernie styles to keep his seat warm until the corporate sell-off is complete. Right? That's why the Strategic Petroleum Reserve is practically bone dry, sitting at 319 million barrels, the lowest point since 1983. They blew it all trying to artificially suppress the economic disaster of their Iran war. And now we're preparing to fight over the scraps of a dying harvest. Mark my words on this one. The harvest is dying. The fuel is gone. The export markets are permanently closed, and the family farms are defaulting. And when those auctions happen this fall, the people buying up the generational land aren't going to be your neighbors. They'll be the very same hedge fund vultures that sold you out in the first place, the same politicians who sold you out. It's not going to be long before you have farm kids tossing bales of hay and eat the rich shirts that they printed at the local DSA co-op down at the state college. Because the Democratic Socialists just knocked off a 30-year incumbent by actually talking about corporate greed while the GOP is busy banning books and talking about keeping trans people out of girls' sports. If you're on the MAGA train, if you still consider yourself pretty far to the right on this point, if you hate the libs, I think the question you really need to ask yourselves right now is this. Is your representative taking the off-ramp to actually save your community, or are they just making sure that they get a window seat in the lifeboat? Stay sane. Stay sharp, stay safe. Food for thought as always, everyone. Watch the ledgers because there's a lot of theater out there and you have to look past it. But food for thought as always. Take care.